All right, our laser coaching session has officially begun. Welcome on. Bernadette's first. Okay.
Hi.
Okay,
Hello.
first question for you, Bernadette, is I forgot how to teach them how to do this, huh, Nicole? When you
That's
come
right.
on, you say, I'm grateful for, and then the next thing is, my question is, or I would like to build this. Okay, so Bernadette, what are you grateful for?
Long story short, I'm grateful for being alive.
Okay. It sounds like we need to use that story and create a program around it.
You have no idea, but I think 3 hours is not enough.
Okay. What's your niche?
Functional medicine focused on Hashimoto's.
All right. So we have Hashimoto's here. Is that your story? Is that part of your story?
No.
Okay.
Big part of my
Always
story.
helps to have a story, personal story. Okay. What do you want to create? An educational piece, a 30-day program, or a 90-day program?
I want to kind of go all three.
Okay. So we're going to create the ladder. So we've got an educational piece, 30-day, 90-day. Okay, now you guys can all create this. But by the end of this week, you better dang launch one of them. I'm going to hold you to it. Okay. Now, running back into your shoes, Bernadette, back, I don't know, when was it? 10 years ago, 20 years ago?
It's kind of hard to explain, but mostly it started probably in my late teens. And it kind of culminated into a catastrophic event in 2020.
Okay. 2020 is just, that's all you need to say is just 2020. Got it. Okay. Have you created an educational piece before?
I've tried several times, but it kind of keeps getting out of hand.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
My ultimate goal for the educational piece,
we got a promise here.
Yeah, is to educate patients like me about what certain end results can happen if you don't take action now to stop the tide of Hashimoto's.
Okay. So did you get diagnosed with Hashimoto's in your late teens?
No, most of my providers have been extremely resistant to actually diagnosing it, even though I know for certain it is. Okay. Even to the point where an endo told me that even though that my antibodies were over 900, basically told me that just because you have high numbers doesn't mean you have Hashimoto's.
Oops, I did TBO. Was it TPO or TG? Doesn't matter.
TBO.
All right, for an educational piece, and based upon your story, make it personal to you, I would say something along the lines of what I wished I knew 20 years ago that would have prevented my life now. Does that resonate with you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now it's very, very helpful to have some like 11 things I wish I knew, something like that. Numbers.
Yes.
If you could rattle off 11 of them right now, what would they be?
The primary one is that I really wish that I knew that that it can cause severe damage, irreparable damage.
In the forms of what?
Major heart attack, quadruple bypass, and now a left bundle branch block with a pacemaker due to severe bradycardia in the 20s.
Girl, you need to share your story to the world. I've only heard 2 minutes of it. Okay, severe damage, which has led to major heart problems. I think, every person wants to know what their numbers actually mean. And that's kind of my jam. Why is my blood work normal, but I feel like crap?
Yep.
So what do the numbers actually mean? And you can go into like, here's your TSH, here's your free T4, your free T3, your TPO, your TG antibodies. You need to at least understand these 5 things so that you can be a better advocate for yourself. Okay. That's all inside this educational piece.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So our promise is you're going to know the 11 things I wish I knew 20 years ago as a teenager fighting for my life when I should have been diagnosed with the Hashimoto's the entire time. That's a pretty good grabber attention. Then you list out the 11 things as like think about it like a book, like a table of contents. List out the 11 things. And then each quote chapter is one of the 11 things where you expound upon it. Okay. Now, what I love is that these ebooks can eventually get turned into a real book. And where you get to expand more upon your story and just expand more upon it. But this is like the first step. Hey, let's write this 100-page ebook and then grow your book it piece of the formula later on down the road. Okay, does that feel like you have a really good idea of what this educational piece should be like?
Yes. I think one of the stumbling blocks that I come across is that I still want it to be about them, but it always turns into about me. And I find that it can potentially become off-putting.
When I tell you stories about my life, does that resonate with you?
To some degree, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Same thing with your clients. They want to know, like, I felt like this as a late teenager. I felt like this in my 20s. I felt like this in my 30s. When by heaven, how old are you now? If you don't mind sharing.
53.
Okay. I could have saved 30 years from my life if I had known this. And now I'm on a mission to make sure that nobody else is in my shoes. Do you see how your story makes it so valuable to the client? And you can, I mean, if someone doesn't pay $17 for that, they're not worth your expertise. And they'll get there, right? They'll get there.
Right.
So you share a little piece of your story in the beginning. Why is it important to you? Everybody wants to know that. And then break it down like, hey, here are the 11 things I wish I knew. Maybe it's 9. Maybe it's 7. Maybe it's 21. I don't know. But if you were to just brainstorm or jot down 11 different things, or just start jotting down and brainstorming and then go back and count it afterwards, what would it be?
Right off the top of my head.
Do it tonight. Like, do it as we go throughout the next 2 hours together. So here's your educational piece. Now, based upon that series inside your ebook, your new ebook, I love it. Your call to action is going to be, come join my 30-day thing. Now, Bernadette, how many hours do you want to work every week?
I'd like to bring it down to about 20 to 30 max.
Okay. So with a 30-day program, do you want to be involved in this, or would you like it more automated?
Kind of half and half. I tend to get nervous being on video or speaking in general, due to the fact that when I do get excited about a topic or whatever, I tend to stutter. So it kind of makes it a bit difficult and embarrassing.
That is totally fine. You can go video, or you can do something like an email support, where now you get to be in the email and chat with them. Does that sound more appropriate for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, our timeline is 30 days. What's our promise? What can we then educate them? And now we're going to start to improve their lives more upon their education piece. It's more of like, okay, maybe you introduce the blood work. This is my jam. So this is why I think about it all the time. You introduce the blood work.
Yeah.
What does the rest of their blood work say?
Oh, you're talking about in terms of like,
If you see metabolic panel, lipid panel.
Like your differential infections, inflammatory processes, the things that you can look at in terms of whether or not what type of infection, whether it's viral or bacterial. You can take a look at other things. Your metabolic panel, your fasting insulin is also a part of the same inflammatory process. You know, when you're talking about weight.
You just created your 30-day program. You can record this on a video. If you like print more, make it a know how to read your blood work guide. Learn it all in 30 days. If you were to break it down, say you have 6 different panels. So learn one panel every 5 days.
Okay.
Get email support with you. You could have a VIP upgrade. So this is what I highly recommend in your 30-day and 90-day period is a VIP upgrade where it's like, you know what, maybe they want the blood work education, but they would love to have a call with you, like a 1-hour Zoom call where you're going over their blood work with them.
Can you go back again real quick? You said 6 different panels and how many?
I'm just using an example. So if I'm creating 6 different panels, which I think there are 6 off the top of my head, and I'm breaking 6 into 30 days, that would be 5 days. So you'd have 5 days. Remember, they want the easy button.
Yep.
5 days to learn a new panel.
Okay.
When I describe panels, you know the drill. They're very simple.
Mm-hmm.
If you really love those infection markers, and you want to dive in and share your own example, even better.
Okay.
This is what I wish I knew in 2017 when I was looking at my own blood work, lost. Sick and tired of being sick and tired and told it's not Hashimoto's, it's not this. My medications, list off the medications you were on. They weren't getting me anywhere. Tell your story, because your story will resonate with the person who joins in your world. And they're like, oh my gosh, she knows how I feel.
And I'm hoping they don't ever know how I feel right now.
They do. That's why they'll be attracted to you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now from your 90-day program, you're going to build upon that.
Okay. And
in the 90-day program for Hashimoto's, I love the group setting.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You can do the camera thing. You cannot do the camera thing. It's totally up to you.
Okay.
Maybe you want to do, 3 one-on-one sessions. So you don't have to worry about the group camera setting.
Okay.
This one, I would typically recommend adding supplements in addition to it. So this is where we get tricky when we start talking about clinical, because now it's no longer a personalized treatment plan, even though it can be if you choose to sell it like that. Or you can make your life easier, get them a one-size-fits-all supplement plan, get them feeling better within the 90 days. Because remember, you got to have a promise. So the promise of the 30-day program is know exactly what your blood work says, so you never have to rely on a doctor ever again.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's the promise. Then the 90 days where like, okay, now that you know what's really going on, let's start fixing it.
Yeah.
Let's start healing. I hate the word transformation. In fact, you'll never see anywhere in my marketing transformation. I hate that. People don't want to feel transformed. They want to feel like they had a switch turned back on, or, they're one step closer to feeling free. They're one step closer to being the wife that they used to be, kind of thing. So our promise of the 90-day, think about what you want to do, whether it be a group program. What kind of supplements would you include? What does that regimen look like? Think about the promise.
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly, how can you make it easy? Remember, these are people like you. They're tired. They need the easy button. Now, the big question is, which one are you going to create first and launch this week?
Earlier, you were talking about a good ebook is about 100 pages. Is that seriously something that can be done in one night?
With the help of AI, yes, it can.
You got the steps.
Okay, here's my process for writing this thing. Okay, so if you go into this, and exactly this is what I would do for all of your ebooks, guys. I didn't know I was writing an ebook at the time, and the purpose was to just educate people about their blood work. And for you, Bernadette, the purpose is to educate them about what you wished you would have known. So when you come at it from that perspective, it's like, I wish they would have known this. Here's chapter 1. So chapter 1 for me is the introduction, like, who are you? Why have you done the things that you've done? Your story. And if you want to, one way to do this to make it easier is some of you can get on a Zoom call, hit record, and then you just start talking. Nobody's on there with you. It's just you. But you just start talking and you get your voice out of your head. And then you can have that transcribed and put that as each chapter. And then step number 2. So introduction, I'm getting ahead of myself. Introduction is you and about you. And why should they care? And then the first tip, second tip, 9 tips, 11 tips, 21 tips later. And don't get so caught up on the length of things, because again, they want the easy button, remember?
Right.
Don't get so caught up on the length of things. Just make sure that as you're putting your message down, you're telling them, you're showing them your heart, and you're giving them the promise.
Okay.
I don't care if it's 15 pages. I don't care if it's 75 pages.
So just kind of have the layout, the lay of the land, nothing else.
The layout, the lay of the land. And you can say, when you go to sell it, you can say, hey, I'm creating this ebook. It's going to be called 11 Things I Wish I Knew About Hashimoto's that nobody bothered telling me in the last 30 years. And trust me, I've experienced symptoms since I was 13. Sell it first.
Just charts, diagrams.
And then create it.
Aha, gotcha.
Denise says, remember, throw in some images, maybe some charts, diagrams, and you can easily get your 100 pages.
Okay.
Now here's the thing. I know this might sound, does it sound overwhelming right now?
It does. Just trying to get it out of my head and into paper.
That's all you need to do. Get it out of your head. Just start typing. If you're a Google Doc person like I am, type it up. If you are a paper planner person, I have my life on this thing, not this thing. I like this better. Get it all out of your head. Brainstorm. And then you can go in and just plug in your story. And whatever comes to your heart, here's what I want you guys to know too. Whatever comes to your heart, just let it roll. If you are like, well, maybe I should change the way that I say that. Maybe I should change that. You're never going to launch things. I launched this like 5 years ago. And you know how many times I've gone back and changed the call to action? I don't ever touch the words, but I change what I do with the call to action, which is why I technically removed it from Amazon, because people were like, where's this 5-step guide? Well, the 5-step guide no longer exists because it wasn't bringing me clients. I'm not going to keep something out there that's not bringing me in clients, right? But the first things first, brain dump. Cool.
Yes. It's nerve-wracking, to be honest with you, because, trying to tell your own story, it's not always fun.
It's not fun.
No.
But the good and the bad, people love you for it.
Yeah.
Nicole, share a little bit about your story. See how this works.
So for years, I was diagnosed with all kinds of things like Epstein-Barr, fibromyalgia. Like they gave me all kinds of things when I was younger. And then in 2001, I moved into this cute little house in California. I took the steps, moved to California, and the house was filled with toxic mold.
Oh, Lord.
Yes. Little did any of us know. My kids had symptoms. My husband had symptoms, but I got extremely sick. And we went to different doctors. My husband ended up in an ER and they thought it was something from work. My kids were seeing a pediatrician. I was seeing my GP. Couldn't figure out what was going on with me. Long story short, because we have a short period of time, I ended up in a coma for 4 months because I had toxic mold growing in my lungs. Okay. Thankfully, I woke up. I'm here, I'm with you. And I was about 85% better for about 17 years. But I still had all these autoimmune symptoms that now they were exasperated. Fast forward into foundational functional medicine. I have, worked out all of my autoimmune issues. I had one flare up in the last 3 years. Not too bad. So there's definitely a story to tell of how my autoimmune things started showing up in 20s, 30s. When I went into this coma, things exasperated even after that. So I have a mold story, but my mold story actually led me into a path of healing my own autoimmune symptoms. So,
Did I see that?
Okay.
This resonates with people.
Yes.
They want to say like, oh my gosh, I feel like her. And I'm 53. I still got 35 years to live. I don't want to live like this. Wait, if she did it, I can do it.
Yes. And that's part of the problem, sometimes, when the damage has already been done, there's no correcting it. Right now I'm
That's
working.
why you get into the world that you're in though.
Yeah.
Cells heal.
Hmm.
And if cells heal, organs heal.
Your body knows.
And if organs heal, systems heal.
Yeah.
And when systems run together, they run its course. And okay. You got to add that piece into your educational piece.
What's that?
You got to add that in every single step of your journey.
Say that one more time.
You're like, wait a second, I already have damage done. Do you feel like you have damage done too? And when cells heal, organs heal. And when organs heal, systems run efficiently. And when all of your systems are running efficiently together as one unit, you're back to extraordinary health. And every single thing that you've gone through is just something that you get to tell in your story so that other people can resonate with it. You got an educational piece, a 30-day program, a 90-day program to get building and start to start changing the world. And Bernadette, with Hashimoto's and thyroid, it's you and your story that's going to penetrate through that market.
Okay.
You got this, girl.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
Thanks for everybody too.
Thanks,
Thank
Bernadette.
you. Thank you.
Dr. Jason is in the house and he is adding on to the spotlight. Welcome on, Dr. Jason.
Hey, what's up?
Not much. I feel like I know your name, but have I seen you in my world before?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm out there on social quite a bit, so who knows?
Okay. All right. What are you grateful for?
Oh man, I'm just grateful for this call and to connect with you guys, and just I like the speed that we're moving at, and I'm ready to pitch my ebook.
Hit your ebook to me.
Let's go.
All right, let's go.
All right. What do you need to know?
First is the promise.
Okay. So I'm spinning off. I said that I'm doing something new, but I'm kind of tweaking something that I did earlier. So I wrote a book earlier, and it is on Amazon. Maybe I want to pull that off. But it's called the Epic 5 Plan, and it really is it's the foundation of the 5 pillars of health that I've used with my clients to reestablish good health for them, which is hydration, diet, movement, stress management, and sleep patterns. What I want to do with this ebook is you said, what comes to mind, what am I passionate about? I've been wanting to do this anyway. I want to make a workbook around my original book. So
Awesome.
I think that this is a really cool idea. The promise would be, and I think the promise is, the workbook, if you implement what's in the workbook, we're going to lay down a solid foundation that will serve your health today, but for decades to come. I think the whole workbook would probably take about 2 weeks to like work through, like to
Okay,
give
there's
it,
our timeline.
yep, to give it legitimate time. But I do think that every single day they're going to have actionable, implementable items that they can do.
Which is huge. Make sure that there is this promise, right? So what would your promise be?
Well, I was kind of writing it out a little bit, and I wrote it out so eloquently, but I don't know if I can find it quickly. But I said by the end of the workbook, readers will have laid down a personalized foundation using the 5 pillars I've successfully applied with countless clients. Foundations designed to guide them toward radiant health and vibrant living, equipping them with practical tools and insights they need to take control of their wellness.
Your easy button is like it's a simple workbook that they can follow through step-by-step processes. The timeline is a 2-week. My hesitation is more of a branded section for tomorrow is that
Okay.
we're speaking to the masses. Would you agree?
Yeah, I am. I'm also trying to think of like what's the point of the ebook. So I was thinking like down the pipeline too. I'm not really looking to grow my practice. So I'm not looking for clients in that traditional way at any route, but I am looking to grow lists and my free Facebook groups and driving traffic in that direction. So that's my ultimate like, why would I be writing this ebook? I think would be to bring them into my ecosystem even larger for some other projects I might have planned down the road that they might fit into.
Hmm. So you're building out who you're talking to, the amount of people you're talking to. So
Yeah.
when you go to launch something in the future, you got a massive audience to talk to.
Yeah. Yep. And we've been building it for a little bit. We have about 8,000 in our private group right now. So we have some work to do, but I like where we are and I'd like to really drive that.
Is this free?
The Facebook group is free right now. Yeah. I'm going to I want to convert it to a paid group.
I was going to say, let's get that converted.
Yep.
To paid group. And then what I would say is take the workbook and drive it to this.
Yep.
With your $7 sales page or whatever it ends up being.
Jason, are you doing any paid programs now?
I was doing high ticket, for a while, and I did it for a long time, and we did really well on it. But I've moved to just a subscription service for just a membership service for a very select group of people. So I'm really acting right now as like a concierge doctor for them, kind of handling, quite a bit. But I also run it in groups and messaging, so I don't do any one-on-ones with anyone, in fact.
That's
Oh,
great.
man.
Yep.
It's still my only
But I'm not
hesitation
looking to
is
grow that
this.
right now. I'm not looking to grow that piece right now. I'm looking to focus on this other
Yeah,
thing.
you
But
want to
yeah,
build out your audience.
I hear you about the masses for sure. I totally hear you on this.
I just think the Epic 5 plan and then identify who it's for. I
Okay.
don't care if it's for people who keep getting told their blood work is normal, yet they feel like crap. Like that's a niche,
Okay.
but it's going to cover and people know exactly who that's for. Whereas if you're just saying Epic 5 plan, is that somebody for like me who just, wants to sleep better and feel more
Right.
rested when I don't have a baby that wakes me up 5 million times a night?
Yep.
Or is that someone for actually who is experiencing symptoms of such and such? Like be a little bit, the only reason why I say that is because it'll be way easier to market.
Yeah, I think I can play with that a little bit. I think that, just even what you just said, like the Epic 5 plan for, I don't even know this is not my copy, but something like, vibrant health or something, even though the Epic 5 plan to take back your health, even though your labs look good, but you still feel like shit or something. I don't know, something like that. I don't know what that
Totally.
is.
Something like that.
Okay.
Something like that. But I would just specify a little more who this is for.
Okay.
That will cut through a lot of other options that are out there already like that.
Okay.
And just be like, why this over all the others?
Yeah. Jason, you could actually relabel it for a couple things. Like you could do the Epic 5 plan for, I don't know, people over 40 or, who feel like that. Or, you could, or for people who have whatever, and you could brand it like kind of like the chicken soup for the soul books where like for children, for adults, for whatever, you could have different niches that you do the book with.
That's That's exciting. I kind of like that. Also, I'm not totally stuck on the Epic 5 plan.
Okay.
The original book is the Epic 5 plan with some kind of tagline after that, but we have since pivoted. Our business is now Radiant Health. So it was Epic Functional Medicine. So all of that said, I'm not really like, I'm also pivoting brands here as well, to more of a lifestyle brand than
So
more
are
of a
we.
functional
We
medicine
get it.
brand. Yeah. So, a lot of fun here, but I thought that this workbook might be something fun to just throw out there to kind of bridge something and drive traffic back to our free group. But like you said, for our next project, to a paid group. Yep.
What's your Facebook group called?
The Radiant Life, Radiant Health community. It's real dumb. I mean, it's like just out there. Yeah.
What's your brand? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
That's
that's our brand. That's our brand.
Think about the workbook and whatever you end up creating in this ebook/workbook. Think about it as the launching platform for your new brand.
Okay.
And when you come at it from that perspective, the reason why I say that is because I'm doing the exact same thing.
Okay.
We're writing a series of books to launch our new brand. And those are the platforms on which we're going to be doing it on.
That's great.
So think about the workbook as, okay, I don't really care what I'm leading it towards. I'm going to lead to this free group in which I'm going to get my money back, at some point in time. If not, there's something better. But I'm thinking from a branding, marketing perspective, with a new brand and you've already got know, like, and trust from a lot of people, make this the platform in which you launch this new brand from. So whatever that looks like to you, this new brand, what does it resonate? Why is it like, give me a little bit of why, give me a little bit of what, give me a little bit of the how, and then dive into, these are the 5 steps you need.
Okay. How?
And Nicole's right. Like, specify it for different people, but you can have the same kind of concepts with the different individuals.
Yep.
The Epic 5 plan for a stellar, healthy family, from husband to wife to kids.
Yeah. I like something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
I like this, guys.
Plan
Thank
for
you.
the husbands. Here, you need higher testosterone. Here's a little tweak for you. The plan
Yeah.
for the wives. Oh, let's look at I hate thyroid, but it's a cop out because it's so used. Energy. Tweak this for more energy. And then for your kids. I mean, do you have kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, what would your kids want? Let's do that.
Yeah. Well, they're adult kids, so what they want is
Okay.
to,
Well,
like,
then
be
what
able
would
to-
my kids want? 7, 4,
Yeah.
what?
I think what they want, what everybody wants, is to eat whatever they want and have no metabolic effects, but that doesn't exist. So anyway,
That is true.
And
Awesome.
there's your expertise.
I'm digging it. Yeah, thank you, guys. I'm going to put this all together, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah. Perfect.
Exciting.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
I love talking to you guys because you solve your own problems. Like, you're just like, everybody wants metabolic restoration, peace. Okay, well, you can't get it, so you do this instead.